Oh, case of the Mondays. Anybody have it? Actually, Mondays aren't too bad, right? New week, new perspectives, new goals, new everything. It's kind of like a fresh start, right? Everybody dreams of a fresh start, and we have it once a week. Hey. Well, the biggest news to come out of the last week that's not related to the recently completed, I guess, A&A World's Fair Money Show in Chicago. All right, it was a good time had by all, and one of the biggest shows of the year. And of course, there were a few thefts from what I heard. Yeah. Anyways, it's like that in every big show, right? You always hear about stuff like that. But the biggest news from the last week has to be something that not really a lot of people are talking about, but we're going to talk about it today. And that's good old proof Lincoln cents. Yeah, proof coins. Well, what else can you say? It's a love it or hate it kind of relationship with these sets with a lot of people. And I'm at a loss for words because I know these sets aren't particularly endeared by a lot of people, and that's the big reason why that they're so cheap. Well, a lot of them are. This is a 1979 proof set that I'm holding in my hand right here. But one of the coins, ladies and gentlemen, and by the way, these sets can be had for under $10. Like they're nothing. They're chump change. But if you wanted something really neat with a reasonably lower mintage, proof set's definitely the way to go. Plus, they just look really fancy. But this 1979S Lincoln set, right here in the middle of this holder, one example sold for over $3,000 here last week, which admittedly kind of sets the stage for what I'm about to share with you. So we had a number of proof coins that are proof Lincoln cents specifically, and no others, that sold on Great Collections here yesterday. Finally all hammered, they're completed. Hopefully they're all going to get paid for. But we had probably a good solid 20 coins. I didn't quite count it, exactly to the number, but there wasn't a lot. But between these 20 proof Lincoln cents, the total realized sales comes out to just over $1,137,000. We had some pretty notable proof Lincoln cents that sold here last week. And this is an event unlike any other. We don't normally see some of the proof coins that we're going to talk about today come up in the marketplace maybe once every 5 years. I mean, it's that infrequent. It's that scarce. It's more so about the grade than anything else, although some of the more earlier proof coins are scarce in their own right. Only a few hundred of them exist, for that particular year. But the respective grades that these coins had received is unlike anything that I have ever seen in my life. Some of the coins on their own have hit six figures, and we talked about one of them in the Monday Market Report yesterday. So we're going to double down. We're going to take a look at all of the proof coins. We're not going to look at every single one specifically because that would be redundant, but I'm going to pick a couple of them that really it's silly. This whole thing is silly. So I'm in the auction archive on Great Collections site. All right, pretty easy to access. Again, Great Collections. If you guys are looking to pick up some nice coins affordably or not so affordably, that's probably the best website, e-commerce auction platform for coins and currency that you could use today, bar none. And that's saying a lot because they're up against stiff competition from the likes of eBay, Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and a few others. So we're going to just take a look at all of the relevant proof coins. These are all top pop coins that have sold for at least $1,000. There weren't too many of them that sold for just over $1,000, but there were quite a few of them that sold for many times more than that. So there's a mixture of business strike coins in here, and our first one I believe is going to be on page 2, if I'm not mistaken. Here's 1985. You guys remember that one I talked about on the MMR? Yeah, $3,400. That's insane. Here you go. Well, here's our first one. This is the one that I talked about in the MMR, 1979S. That is actually this coin right here. That coin. Which, by the way, my example looks pretty clean. You guys think it'll grade to 70? Should I try and send it? It's going to be kind of a risky proposition, but, I will do anything in the name of coin science. So, this one right here, Type 1, PCGS Proof 70 Deep Cameo. I have that coin, by the way. Sold for $3,867. Okay, we don't really need to go in there and look at that coin among a few others as well. 78S, Perfect Proof 70, same deal, $3,262. Just so you guys understand, 70 is the highest grade that you could achieve in coin grading, period. There's no Proof 71, nothing higher than that, although there have been lame attempts of trying to enhance the grading standard so that way it's like a 1 to 100 kind of grade level. That ain't gonna fly. It never will fly. But getting back to the lecture at hand, we had a 77S, also a Proof 70 Deep Cameo, $2,081. So it seems to me that one's, I guess, a little bit more available in a Proof 70 than some of the other 1970s dates, judging from its actual final sale price. So continuing on down the line here, where you go to page 2. This is what I do every day. I monitor the market. And it's fun. This is a lot of fun because, it's just good to see where the market kind of like ebbs and flows at this particular juncture. Here we are in 2022. And I would say coin collecting has become an extremely desired form of collecting. All right. It's way beyond what you would comprehend from sports cards to comic books and all that. It's firmly one of the top collectibles out there. So here's a 69S. This time a Proof 69. A 69 on 69. Giddy. Deep Cameo, of course, $2,986.88. The older you go, the tougher it is to achieve some of those Proof 70s, right? Because due to quality and all that stuff, a lot of factors are involved. As kind of a side note, check out this Proof 68 70S. Small date, of course, sold for $361. All right, carrying on. We have a 1967 Special Midset. They made Special Midsets from 65 to 67 as kind of a proof replacement. This one is a cameo coin, so it's got a little bit of frost on there. $1,694. What was that grade? 68. Okay, that's a tough one. I know there's a lot of those that grade out 66 and 67s. It's really a lot harder than it looks at first glance. All right, page 3. A lot of your spicy coins are going to be a few pages down. So like page 4, page 5, somewhere around there. Here's a 61. This time an NGC graded Proof 69 Ultra Cameo. Ended up selling for $1,096.88. Man, so much money flying around proof coins this week. Here's that 1960 small over large date FS102. Double to die obverse. I talked about that one on the Monday market report as well. Proof 68 plus, half a point grade higher than some of the other ones we've seen. Full red, $2,643.75. That is a phenomenal variety. One in which doesn't really come out into the market too often, especially at that grade level. 1960 NGC Proof 69 Ultra Cameo, $1,181. So by the time we're going through all these and we're all said and done, okay, and we've looked at all of the big time expensive coins, we haven't gotten there obviously because there's nothing over 10 grand yet. But at the end of the video, I'm going to kind of talk about why these coins are achieving these kind of values, and furthermore, what's the likelihood that if you did have a proof set and the coin looks pretty good, what's the likelihood that you could send something out like this to a PCGS or NGC and have it come back a perfect grade? Okay, we're going to talk about that. There's a few factors involved. 1959, proof 68, deep cameo. That's a tough date for deep cameo. Contrast, when you get past like 1973, 72, going back in years, it's harder to get the deep cameo contrast designation on a lot of these graded coins. And that's that heavy frosting on the devices, offset by some pretty dark mirrored fields, which are the flat areas around the design of the coin. Yeah, $2,630. All right. Wow. Huge numbers so far. And we haven't even gotten into some of the meat and potatoes of tonight's dinner. Here's a 56. Now we're getting a little bit older. Okay, this is wheat cent back design. Proof 69 through NGC. Ultra Cameo. It's even got the funky Lincoln label. $1,631. We got a 55 DDO in there. Here's a 55, Proof 67 Plus, Ultra Cameo. This is actually a very pretty coin. I looked at that one. $1,237. Again, a lot of big values. And I don't know if I said it on my Monday market report, but I could have done a Monday market report on nothing but Lincoln cents. And it would have been a lot longer form of video than the one I had just done, which was the regular MMR. There's our crazy 1953 registry set coin, $11,000, 52S. All right, we're almost there. Couple 43s sold, NGC graded, of course. Not worth nearly as much as if it were in, PCGS plastic. 1940, didn't even put this one on the list because I had no place to put it. The thing is, I don't want to talk about 30, 40 coins on a Monday market report because I don't want to dilute it down and make you guys lose interest in the actual form of the video. So, I have this certain amount of coins that I add in there. Okay, it's generally between 18 and 24. Very rarely do I hit anything above 22, which I did last night. I had 22 exactly on the nose. But yeah, I couldn't even fit this one in here because I didn't want to make the whole report about Lincoln cents. Some of you would probably like it because it's like the well-known, most widely collected series, but $8,100. $8,100. I left off the list. I had the 39 in there, obviously. All right, so here's where it gets really crazy. Okay, this next page here, we're getting into some of the teens and 20s. Here's a Proof 67, 1939. That's not a date that you encounter, And then oftentimes you're going to see these sold as singular coins. So you don't really see them sold in a set, all right? I forgot how they even put those in sets. $1,321. It has no cameo. Kind of hard to find on those 30s, 40s proof coins. Oh, man. Yeah, we're almost there. By the time we come across, there's the 31. Couldn't even add, what's this other one right here? The 31S in a Mid-State 66, $2,400. Couldn't fit that in the Monday market report. Crazy world that we're living in. This is kind of like a prelude to what we're going to see during the fall season. It's going to be crazy. This was kind of the similar type of activity that we were seeing in the marketplace right after the recession in 2008, from about end of 2009 to about 2012, the prices on coins were absolutely through the roof. It was hard to comprehend what we were seeing at the time. So the first coin that I wanted to talk about, maybe not necessarily clicking into it, is the 1916 Lincoln cent, a very early date. Now, there's a little bit of a story I want to share with you regarding these much earlier, what they call matte proof. And the reason why they're called that is that the surfaces are very satiny to the point where they're almost indistinguishable to a regular business strike coins. So there have been people that have successfully cherry-picked actual proof early 19 teens and 1909s, all right? they did proof coins in 1909. They have actually successfully cherry-picked what a dealer thought was a business strike coin was actually selling a genuine proof coin. These things are extremely limited. There's only like a few hundred examples. That's how low the mintages are on some of these coins. So here's a regular Proof 65. It seems like just a regular type of grade, right? Proof 65 red through PCGS, $7,256.25 is what this one sold for. Now, page 6 is the kind of the gold standard of the content of this video. All right, so bear with me. Again, I'm not going to talk about all of it, but you guys are going to get kind of like that generalized view of what we're dealing with here. Here's another 1916. So we had already seen one, same grade, Proof 65. This one sold for a lot more money, nearly double, and here's the big reason why. Proof 65 red is the same grade as the $7,000 example. Here's the deal. CAC stickered. It actually passed through CAC, and as a result, it's worth a lot more money. Someone had actually asked me, Blue, how much of a premium differentiator does using CAC involve? You know, and a lot of people are hesitant about using them. And the big reason why is that it's not a cheap service. You know, you're paying for PCGS or NGC, and then now you got to go ahead and send your coin out to CAC. Well, it's because of things like this. On very tough key type of coins, they make such a huge impact in the value that it's kind of hard to ignore, right? It's like if you found a coin shop that had this one coin without the CAC green bean, and your coin dealer, most coin dealers don't use CAC, which is a great company because they kind of audit the grade that PCGS puts on their plastic. They don't use CAC. So when they don't do that, it opens up a really big opportunity for folks that like to cherry pick slabs. And if a coin appears to be graded on par to what the information says on the slab label, then it's a coin that they could buy for, say, $5,000, send it to CAC, comes back with at least a green bean because you either have green or gold. Gold is like the one you want. That's going to shoot the value up of that coin by a huge margin. But the coin comes back and then you flip it and sell it for $8,000 to $10,000 and you profit a few thousand. There are people that do that today. And I'm telling you, it's not 100% utilized. There's not a lot of people that actually do it, but more of the discerning kind of like high dollar value type of collectors and dealers and flippers. They do it quite often with tremendous success. All right, so one of the biggest ones to hit, 1915, Proof 67 is such a huge grade. Man, what a gauntlet. Full red, CAC, OGH. That thing is about maxed out. People will look at this coin and they're like, yeah, I think that's pretty much maxed out. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't dare because it's in an original green holder, which by itself adds a little bit more value. Nobody in their right mind would buy this coin to crack it out and then resend it to PCGS, send it to CAC, and do all this stuff. All right? So, yeah, undoubtedly, someone sold off their #1 registry of proof coins. And we're seeing it today. This is, it is what it is. People fall out of touch of their collections, and it's just time to move on. All right? And it was a good time to sell these because it realized full market potential. So there's a little bit of information on the slab. There's the coin. Whoa. This is a really beautiful coin. Nothing like a business strike. These things have a quality all in themselves. You could actually see the finest detail, the minutia of the beard and the hair and just everything about it. That is kind of like one of the attributes that you look for between a proof a matte proof, and a regular business strike. You know, and another thing too is going to be the really, really chiseled kind of like edge to it. It's going to be a lot more blockier compared to a business strike coin. I know that was another thing that people were asking about, but these things are going to be chunky, you know, if you have one in hand and not in a holder. But this coin is absolutely stunning. Even has a little bit of kind of a mossy green toning on the reverse. Is it the perfect coin? Probably not. You know, this one has a couple carbon spots on the reverse. But all in all, I mean, this is like one of the most widely collected Lincoln Cent coins that you could come across. I mean, if you're looking for high value, high dollar, the 1910s proof coins, you know, that's it. It's it. That's the coin right there. All right, so we had that one. Heck of a buyer's premium. Jeez, $15,000 buyer's premium on that. So the buyer would have paid $132,000 for that thing. There's also a 1914. That time, a proof 68, $126,562. And it just keeps going. Here's the 1913. Again, all from the same registry set. And I'm very surprised that they didn't put a secondary line on here, because they've done like neon lights. They've done a few other different types of provenances. Proof 67 red plus CAC, and it's toned, $84,543. Here's a 1912, one of the least spectacular of the bunch, if you can believe that. Proof 65 red, CAC also, 21.8. Here's another one here, 1911, Proof 66 plus red, 40,500. I mean, we're talking like life-changing money. Like, I'm cashing out and I'm moving to the Bahamas. That's what this is. That's the kind of the power play that you see with these type of collections. One of the more impressive ones, I think this was the one I talked about. I actually skipped over a couple of them that were quite impactful. 1910. This is the one I talked about on the MMR. I didn't put on purpose the most expensive one on there because I wanted to talk about that one here. $165,937. And then we also had a 1909. Proof 68 red, CAC, original green holder, $154,687. And by the way, that one doesn't have the VDB initials on the reverse, which there is a proof version of that. And this is a regular Mint State one. Mint State 68 plus, red brown out of all. But this is more because of the toning. The toning is just stunning on that. Okay, so we have come to the final coin. All right. The biggest one out of any early Lincoln Cent proof. The 1909 VDB proof. PCGS graded, proof 67 plus red. CAC gold labeled sticker. All right, which is pretty much a license to print money. That's what a gold CAC sticker is. It's like, hey, I have this really rare coin with a mintage of a few hundred or less, and it's got a gold CAC sticker. All right, can I just give you a blank check and you fill it out? You know, stuff like that. I mean, why would I give you a blank check? But they could just whip out a blank check, and then, you know, you give it to the seller, and it's like, put your dollar value. Okay, how about $365,625 is a freaking brand new house on this coin. And this is actually a coin that's been cherry-picked as a business strike before. I think it was about maybe 10 or 11 years ago, someone had actually cherried a proof 09 VDB for like $300-400 and ended up selling it for $100,000. I don't know. It was such a long time ago, but it was certainly a story for the ages. But yeah, I would be remiss not to click into this one. I didn't want to click into every single coin because that would just be insane. But yeah, this this is the one. This is the gold standard here. Yeah, the sticker is gold. All right. At first glance, it's like, oh, it looks green. PCGS Proof 67 plus red. I love talking about stuff like this. All right, so if you guys are looking kind of like for an example of what the edge of a early matte proof coin will look like. Take a look at the actual rim edge of this. See how like thick and blocky it is? You're not going to see that on just a regular business strike, which is a coin made for circulation, 1909 VDB. You're not going to see that. This thing has a kind of like a well-built, chunky, kind of blocky appearance to it. And furthermore, it's going to have just the incredible, impeccable surfaces that you will not see on anything else. This coin is a marvel to look at. And contrary to popular belief, I firmly believe there's at least one more of these that are out there that nobody knows what in the world it is. You know, whether it's in a collection and it's maybe in an album and it's stuck in a 1909 hole, you know, just as a regular coin and not a proof. I mean, these things, you know, were extremely limited numbers, sure. But at the same time, it's a coin that will be fooling you if you don't know what you're looking at. And there are people that have been in the business for a while that still don't know the difference between a regular business strike and a matte proof. And here you are. You're looking at one right now. I mean, this is an insane amount of money. And, you know, the question is, do they get more expensive than this? They certainly can't. Especially the same coin, let's say if it was sold 10 years later on down the road, I think will be worth a ton more. What that number could be is highly speculative. I don't know. What are going to be some of the things that are going to happen in the next 10 years, you know, that will change the landscape of the coin market? I don't know, but it's going to be fun to see. So, what was I going to talk about? I was going to say, you know, in closing, because, you know, while we're looking at this here, $300,000 coin, along with the others that sold in excess of 100K, you know, you come across these, and without a shadow of a doubt, they should all be graded. If you have one raw, you don't want to sell it raw. You want to sell this graded. It's going to cost a lot of money to send it off to PCGS. Go ahead and cough up the $500 or whatever it is to grade out a coin that will be worth many times more of what that submission fee is. And really protect your investment, all right? And for those of you that are wondering, man, should I go ahead and bust open some of these later dated proofs? Well, it's all in really the market, okay? Because there is a thirst for high grade, perfect graded, registry set style coins, okay? You got to really be hard on yourself when it comes to your grading style. You got to make sure the coin is perfect, all right? Even if there's a piece of dust on it, you don't want to breathe on it because that's going to be your moisture landing on the coin that's going to end up developing into a nasty carbon spot later on. But I'm telling you guys, for those of you that are asleep at the wheel, proof coins, people are engaging in grading these things. And it's not going to change, you know? As unloved as this series is, there's a small select group of people that are actually going out of their way to profit off of something that people just don't understand or they don't like. But the registry set people, the people that they cater to, is really what matters. So that's why I wanted to share. Huge sale, courtesy of Great Collections. Just really something big and bold, and just I love seeing things like this. You know, obviously the Red Copper Registry owner had reasons why that they've liquidated this collection. And, you know, if they're going to get into a different series, I wish them the best. But if this is it, and they are officially retiring from coins, salute. Well done. That was well done. $1,137,000 and up, because I actually rounded down on everything to the nearest dollar. So yeah, that's what I did. So I did embellish a little bit on the value in a lower kind of way. That's it. That's what I wanted to talk about. I'm Sean with BlueRidgeSilverhound. What a nasty video this was. The potential. Oh my goodness. And that's the reason why we all collect Lincoln Cents. And that's why it's the one most widely collected series, bar none, out of any other US coin or world coin series to date. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this video if you enjoyed today's content. I hope you do. I would love some extra support. If you so please, go ahead and do it. And yeah, that's it. You guys have a fantastic week. I'll see you on the next coin video. So long.